In our dialogue right before, you said that the service doesn't consider jobs. So the 1,700 jobs in Mojave County and the $75 million in economic output associated with the Willow Beach Hatchery that's now in jeopardy are a result of terminating the trout stocking program and the annual production of $150,000 worth of rainbow trout. That just doesn't matter to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service?
Well, certainly it matters. These are jobs for our fellow citizens.
Oh, but wait a minute. You said it doesn't matter. I mean, earlier you testified that it just is never put into the equation.
Well, may I clarify, sir? What we're talking about is we put out a draft blueprint to manage the National Fish Hatchery System. The matrix of decisions, recommendations that we included in there, because no decisions were made yet, did not factor into the economic impact as one of our criteria. We looked at biological outcomes instead. And you're pointing out, and the other leaders are, maybe Fish and Wildlife Service, you guys have it all wrong. You should be factoring in some economic impact to your decision as well.
No,
I can't go back.
That would be really nice if it was really something true. It's not, and, you know, because you're taking it right off of your litany off of this playbook, and you're not engaging the state wildlife services, game and fish. You're not dialoguing with the state stakeholders, the local municipalities. So that's a bunch of crap. 4,000 jobs, $60 million in payroll. Does the Fish and Wildlife Service once again consider these figures before terminating the rainbow trout stocking programs?
If we use the report as it's currently written, it wouldn't be one of the factors.
Yes or no?
No.
No. Boy, I mean, this is just, and this is absurd to me. The Fish and Wildlife Service stated in a letter to this subcommittee sent on May 30th, 2014, that the reason for terminating the rainbow trout stocking program at the time was that the agency didn't have $1.5 to $8.5 million to repair a broken water line and to keep the trout stocking program holding. I'd like to put Exhibit 2 into the record. Recent engineering reports indicate that these estimates were a gross exaggeration, and the broken water line would only cost $100,000 to fix. If the water, now let's listen very carefully, if the water supply line is fixed, does the Fish and Wildlife Service plan to reinstate the trout propagation program at Willow Beach Hatchery?
I believe we would, yes.
Ooh, great. I'm liking that. We want to make it a little more certain, and the answer should be yes, total. In your testimony, you dismiss one aspect of my bill and say, as announced in November, we do not intend to close any hatcheries in fiscal year 2014. You failed to mention that Enactment 113-6 enacted by the Congress prevents such closures. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am, Congressman.
Did the Fish and Wildlife Service even discuss closing fish hatcheries in fiscal year 14 prior to the release of November 13 report with Congress?
Internally, there were some conversations, but we did not.
I want to make sure you understand the law.
Oh, yes, we do, Mr. Congressman.
So we got a problem here, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
We violated the law. Yes or no?
If we had closed one, yes.
You closed them prior to 14, right? 13?
I am not aware of us unilaterally closing a single field station, Congressman.
If there wasn't, then why did Congressman Scott Tipton feel compelled to write Dan Ash a lengthy letter on September 9, 2013 and state in part, I am told that based on the review of the propagation hatcheries within NFSH, that there will likely be some closures of hatcheries nationwide. I would strongly urge you to keep the Leadville National Fish Hatchery open. Media reports also indicate that there will likely be hatcheries closings, correct?
Well, and I'm not trying to give you a bureaucratic answer, but that's a complicated question to answer.
No. If we're going to close hatcheries, you got to come talk to us.
Under this current appropriation law, yes, we do.
And so everything that you have told us, I mean, you don't take into consideration economies. You're supposed to be talking to stakeholders. You don't do that. Why would why would we trust you?
Congressman, we clearly are off to a very bad start with you, and all I can pledge is going forward,
it's not just with me. You're on a bad footing with a lot of people here.
I understand. I mean, we can do a better job, and we will, and we would appreciate your giving us that opportunity to come back and re-earn that trust and credibility with you and the other elected leaders.
Well, I want you to turn to your left, and I want to turn right behind you to two people that you better be very familiar with. Chairman Manziel and Chairman Angus, I want you to make sure that those people are on your speed dial.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, I
Congressman.
yield back.
Met Mr. Manziel at WAFA meetings previously in the West.